nobody gets into wrestling for the money. There's very, very few. Ultimate Warrior is that kind of guy, and they think wrestling is a quick buck, but you know, it's so physically hard that unless you love it, you're not going to do it. It's painful. Having a great deal of pain currently. The Celtic Tiger, Lake Norton. Yeah, that's me. I've been doing it since September '99, and I debuted in 2001. In Ireland in the 90s, there was no wrestling, period. There was no training schools, there was no promotions, there was nothing like that at all.
See that? That's what champions wear.
Finally, at the end of '99, I went up to Calgary, Alberta, Canada, where so many of my favorite wrestlers came from. I got in Calgary. My first matches were there. I came back to Ireland, and I went over and I spent a couple of weeks with Brian Dixon in England on the road full time, which was absolutely brilliant because there's guys like Robbie Brookside, Doug Williams, anybody who knows British wrestling, James Mason. A week and a half there, Brian Dixon was kind enough to let me come out and be completely sucky. I'll get you later. And learn from all these brilliant guys, and it was just mind-blowing. And at the end of the 2 weeks, I knew two things. One, I needed better gear. I needed a better tan. I needed to hit the gym and all that stuff. And two, I knew that I never want to be a full-time wrestler.
You think you know what family business is about? 7 years ago, I swore an oath to my mentor that I'd come back to Europe and I would take the most coveted championship of all professional wrestling. The 3CW Heavyweight Championship represents everything that there is.
In the last couple of years, my perception of the business has changed. It's not as fun as it used to be. I mean, anybody out there who was a wrestling fan in the late 80s, the early 90s to the mid 90s will tell you it's not as fun now because everybody knows it's fake. And the thing is that back in the day, even though you knew it wasn't on the level, nobody knew how it worked. They didn't know the inside terms. They didn't know how it was put together. They didn't understand the politics. That was all kept secret, you know? It's like the magicians have come out on television week after week and gone, look, she's not really in half. This is how we do it. We use this mirror and that mirror and that mirror. So next time we watch it, it's just not fun. Everybody, including Vince McMahon, sadly, for, you know, tax breaks and a cheap buck, will call it sports entertainment, not wrestling. And that's the way they treat it, entertainment, which is a shame. I mean, the thing is that these days, a lot of guys will say, I'm a wrestler when they wrestle like every 2 months. So they can be a 2-year veteran when they've wrestled people who suck and they've only had about 10 matches.
He's finished now, ladies and gentlemen!
Wrestling is not boxing. In boxing, 10 fights is a big deal. In wrestling, 10 matches is nothing. I train guys every week in Ireland. When I trained, I wasn't charged. Stu Hart and Bruce Hart and Ross Hart were very close to me, and they trained me and they spent a year with me and day in and day out, and they gave me every opportunity to be who I want to be. So I'm trying very hard to pay that forward and help everybody else out here who needs a hand up. And really that's 90% of why I'm still in the business, because I have no aspirations on being. If someone asked me tomorrow, do you want to go on the road to WWE? I'd say no, I really don't.
Ladies and gentlemen, the match at 11 minutes and 9 seconds as the result of submission